Hey, we're the Munsons. This is the moment, and this is New Reality TV. Hello to you. How are you? Please say hi in the chat. We'd love to hang out with you for the next half hour, review the week, but more importantly, rather than dwell on the past or worry about the future, come into the moment right now. Are you doing that, Mrs. M?
Yeah, let's
feeling
just
the weight of
introduce
your body on the
ourselves.
chair?
If you're new, if this is the first time you've seen the show, then I'm Louisa, and this is Carl, my on stage, but also real life husband. And we like to check in every day just to, I don't know, get real to all the resources we've got at our fingertips. We have lots of cool conversations with people. Like Carl said, we are just
conversations this week.
Yeah, we have. We really, really, truly have. I can see we've got
Yeah.
people watching already. We've got a comment coming in. Let's see who's joining us today. So we've got Black Moon Jesus saying, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? From San Luis. Is it St. Louis or San Luis?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Meet me in St. Louis, Louis. You not know that?
No,
Oh,
didn't
my
know
goodness.
that.
Well, I hope I'm right on that.
But thanks for joining us, Black Moon Jesus. That's great. So yeah, we've got lots going on. Where do you want to start, Carl? Because we've had.
I've got a question.
Okay.
For everybody. What is a word for tired or exhausted that's not negative? Because it's interesting, isn't it? In our culture, if you're, I am tired. I am exhausted. And when I say when I want to say that and share that, I don't mean it as a sort of pity party or poor me. It's just a fact. And there are very good reasons for it, aren't there, at the moment? There are very good reasons for it. And I don't mean it badly. I don't mean it badly. And I don't want any pity. Yeah. I'm just saying that is exactly how it is. And it's fine. It's okay. It's the quality of awareness that matters at any time. So you might be exhausted. You might be full of beans and excited, but really it's the portal, the quality of the portal, isn't it? And our awareness and our consciousness that matters, not necessarily the state we might be in, which changes, of course.
Well, that's such a good question. So your question, just to repeat, is
how do you say I'm knackered in a good way?
How do you say I'm knackered? Tired, worn out,
weary. I did think of that.
I thought of weary.
But that also sounds a bit negative. In British English. Doesn't it?
So Black Moon Jesus saying there isn't one.
My dad used to call people weary as a put down, so it's a difficult one for me.
I used to say I was bone weary. I used to feel really bone weary, like feel it in my bones. But I was thinking, how could you say that you're maybe restful?
Spent.
No, because again, that
sounds a bit.
That sounds like you kind of dried up old prune.
A spent force.
Yeah, I think restful. I'm feeling restful. I'm going to rest.
Okay. Or it's a it's a paradigm shift of like Black Moon Jesus is saying, exhausted is kind of neutral. It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, my energy resources have been run dry for a moment. I need to recharge and regenerate, and that's fine.
I love this. We've got people joining us. People are becoming friends here.
And using emojis.
Yeah, I know, to describe each other.
Yes.
So Mother Mulberry's Tea Club saying, hi, Black Moon. And that's lovely. And we've also got Siri here as well.
Hey, Siri.
Coming in from Norway.
One of our esteemed guests.
Yeah, Siri was on our show on Tuesday this week. So we've got a confirmation. It's St. Louis.
Oh, so not St. Louis.
Yeah, and not Saint Louis, as I would want to call it.
It's just my British understanding of America. It's so through a particular lens. I love America so much and American culture that I grew up with. Right, look, Momol. Hashtag Momol.
Hi, Momol for Mother Mulberry's Tea Club. Now, why? I mean, we're obviously going to be reviewing what we've gone through this week, but why do you think Black Moon Jesus went Momol? What show does that go back to?
Oh, I don't know.
It's Tom's show.
Of course, it is. Hi, Momol. Yes, we're mantraizing each other.
Yes. So on Monday we had Tom Evans from the Practical Alchemy show. And he had set this, like, he's been on every Monday, and he's going to continue every Monday, for the foreseeable. And he's our kind of, I guess, meditation guru. He is a massive meditation content creator. He doesn't stop.
He's got, for me, he's got a unique way of. I mean, we've all got a unique way of seeing things, but Tom has a very special way of seeing things.
Yeah, he really does. And so he'd said to us, let's do this this mantra, but let's create it in a way that everyone that's watching the moment right now can participate in.
Never been done before.
Yeah, and so we created this. Where is it?
Right there.
we
Can't see for looking.
No, I know. I'm trying to get my mouse working.
Oh.
So we came up with this free high yum dum. So Carl and I described the kinds of qualities we wanted.
Free high yum. I'm feeling it already. Just the mention of it.
We came up with 2 words, and we also came up with we had high from, I think, Mother Mulberry, and yum from Sarah, who was watching as well. So had this free high yum dum. And so we were sitting down with sort of mudra fingers and just tuning into free high yum dum.
I'm feeling it.
I
am feeling it.
Do you know what? As I said that then and did my mudra fingers, just even while I was talking about it, I felt a state change in the back of my thighs. Wow. I felt them kind of melt into the chair a bit.
Did you?
Yeah, which is what I get when I'm
I'm feeling my thing. Yeah.
Okay. So like when I'm writing hypnosis scripts and things, I know if they're going to work, because as I'm writing them and saying them to myself in my head, if I feel my thighs, the back of my thighs melt into my chair,
check it.
Yeah, then I know it's a winner, because I'm feeling that relaxation.
Oh, I see. Okay, so free high yum dum was how we started the week.
It
does work, doesn't it? It really works. Words are so powerful.
They really are.
And intention, and charging the words with intentions. Yeah.
And actually met up with Sarah yesterday for a little bit of breakfast before doing the show.
Did you greet each other with a special handshake and a free high yum
dum?
No,
but I did say free high yum dum.
Did you?
At some point we just laughed.
Right.
So there are things spreading out, and I wonder how many people have said free high yum dum. We had Siri on Tuesday, who has a show on new reality TV called The Soul Painter, and so she was sharing with us that the idea of a soul dialer and how you can connect into creativity and and it was
a creativity special. It was lovely to meet you and chat with you, Siri.
What did you make of it in particular?
She gave us some really good reminders that we're all creative, aren't we? And I loved her orientation of, like, I was saying, how to come into the moment. It seems like she's in the moment a lot and needs to come back into the the world, as it were.
Yeah.
It's a sort of reverse orientation, a reverse osmosis or something of spiritual state there.
Yeah. What I really got from that was how when you know what your purpose is, or when you've got a sense of what it is that you do, if you're not doing it, you start to feel that irritation.
Well, yes, I wanted to say that. Yeah. She has to express, doesn't she? Otherwise, she gets clogged up. And not her words, but our interpretation of that. Yeah. And I think we all probably do that, except we might not acknowledge it or realize that that's what's going on. That the chakras are blocked or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Good to have a clear out.
Definitely.
And then allow the channels to be clean and free.
Yeah, which I think was what Joe was talking about yesterday, Dr. Joe Delaney. So he was saying
F off.
That's one of his techniques.
It was, wasn't it?
But what does it stand for? Can you remember what it stands for?
Yes,
I've got it in front of me.
I can. Feel. Oh no, I can't. Focus on feelings first.
Yes. Focus on feelings first.
Yeah, and he had asset. No, what was the AIM?
It's innate asset
management, which sounded like a company, didn't it?
It did. It sounds like really good.
Hello, innate asset management. How can I direct your call? I need to make an inner investment. Oh, you've come to the right place, Joe Delaney.
Well, it's funny because years ago, when people used to ask me what I did for a living, I used to say I was in futures.
Oh, very good. When you were in the NLP business.
In astrology,
of course,
futures and pattern recognition, and
yes,
there's so many different ways to describe if you've got like a new age kind of career, how do you make good with it with the normie reality around us? Siri's saying, yes, we are all creative and we have to create in some way every day. Thank you for the mention. I've already painted today, and now I have a free high yum dum moment with you. Wow, that's really cool. And she does actually do a program called Drawing It Out, which is a clear out.
Yes.
And it's funny because Joe was talking about cutting through the nonsense, and he was saying, and I don't think it was his, but he had this saying, let go or be dragged, which I loved. What was it about Joe yesterday? Because I felt quite moved.
Well, he taught us a self-hugging technique, didn't he? Yeah. Hand on the heart and the other hand on the belly, like you're cradling a baby. And just I don't remember what the instructions were, but we started rocking and sort of self-parenting, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were parenting our inner child, inner children. It was really, really very special, very moving.
That, I think,
well, it really inspired you, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I loved all of this week, but yesterday, like the feeling of the hands here and on my sort of like belly.
Yeah.
Wow, I felt like I don't know. It reminded me. It reminded me of being a new mum.
Yes.
But it also reminded me of what I really need, and so I was practicing it for the rest of the day, pretty much.
And it connects completely with what Siri was talking about and what we remembered this morning about, you have to clear your creative channels. The original creativity is love, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean, that's the basis of love in expression is creativity.
Yeah.
And our original creative state or channel is love. And so when Joe showed us that, reminded us, really, he was reminding us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
To allow that the connection of the hand in those two places allows the creativity to flow, doesn't it? The basic creativity, the creation of new beings, the creation of acceptance and love and respect and compassion for ourselves and others. That's truly creative, no question about that, right?
Yeah.
And you might say creativity in media comes after and from that, not to undermine it in any way, but the original creativity, the well, is love, isn't it? It's being alive and being here and it's being full stop.
Yeah.
And then when you connect with that, which is what he showed us, that creates a flow, doesn't it? It's like I was tinkering around with the electricity in the house yesterday, wasn't I? Figuring out how to put the light, an automatic light above the front door. And there's the brown wire, and there's the blue wire, and there's earthing as well, which is interesting. But when when you've connected yourself to the blue and brown wire, I didn't do that yesterday, but I have done in the past, and I know not to do that.
Just so we're clear, you don't give electricity advice, do you?
No, definitely
You're not a trained
based
electrician.
on what I'm saying. No, not in any way. I mean, I can get by as a homesteading DIYer. But the point I'm making is that, you've got a blue hand and a brown hand here. And if you connect with your battery or your power source, that's what I think is going on.
Yeah, and I think that might be why I felt it so profoundly. I can see we've got some lovely comments coming in. But before we go there, I want to talk about...
should we feel it? I mean, this, I do bang on a lot about this, but it's one thing to talk about things, isn't it? And then it's another. And perhaps this is the age we're in, is where we talk less about things and we actually do them. So it's, and that's a funny age we've been in, isn't it? Describing things all the time rather than just experiencing them. So please do what, review yesterday, watch yesterday when Joe gave it to us in the first person. But see what happens now. If you feel your weight of the body on the chair, get into your body, be your body as well as you understand or sense that, and then have one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and put your energy there, and see if there is a flow, a connection. See if the battery, if you're shorting your circuits. I'm feeling it. Are you, Mrs.
I'm feeling really moved.
Oh, I say. And what else issued from that yesterday, if I may take you out of the present and into the past?
Sure, you can.
You went deeper and deeper.
I did.
I mean, you can stay here, can't you? You can talk about the past.
I actually don't want to. I don't want to take my hands off here, because I realise I get a feeling that I haven't had in my body for a really long time, and it makes me feel quite tearful to think about it.
You're a grief almost.
Yes, it does feel like a grief. Yeah. And so I spent a lot of yesterday with my hands here whilst doing readings, and all of a sudden I felt like I wanted to. Well, I just recorded some words. And so I thought it'd be really powerful.
Will you read them to us? Is that appropriate?
Well, I'll just talk it through. I mean, we could play it. Maybe we'll play it as an outro.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But it's really personal, just to say.
Yes.
So I recorded my voice and saying the things I said to our babies when I first gave birth. Mm-hmm. And, when they were really small, and I used to hold them literally just here and be like kissing the top of their heads in a normal parent way. And I would say to them as they were falling asleep, "You're perfect. I love you. I waited a long time for you to come. I'm so pleased you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. And so I recorded myself like doing this for about 2.5 minutes. And then I remembered that Joe said, it's good to do this for 10 minutes 3 times a day. So I doubled, like, I basically put in 3 loads of those and spread them out a bit, and put some lovely theatre music in the background as well. So it's proper relaxing. And when you were doing your final shows yesterday, I sat down with our daughter and our eldest son, and I was giving them both a cuddle, but Minnie, our daughter, she came real close. And so I played my track whilst holding her. And then I was also whispering those words over her head. And she burst into tears and I burst into tears. And it was such a moving moment.
Yeah.
And she said, she sobbed. She didn't know where it came from. And it just touched a nerve. And Dr. Joe yesterday was saying, he will have his people he works with doing this for themselves whilst he might be doing some massage on their head or their shoulders and talking to them gently. And there's a moment where all of a sudden they kind of break, like whatever is being held back comes forwards.
Yeah.
And so our daughter didn't know that was what was going on. I didn't know that was what was going on. It was just what we were doing. And it just felt really real. And so I will be doing it again. She's invited me to do that again with her. And last night I couldn't sleep. I was buzzing. And so I was making homemade shampoo.
I know. Yeah. See, I thought this morning that the fairies had been. I thought all the washing up's done. Things have changed and moved around. I thought it was like it's not. Is it Beatrix Potter? The Tailor of Gloucester or whatever. I thought.
All the little creatures come in and tidy our house.
Come and done it. Yeah.
No, that was me. Okay. At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Washing up and making.
Oh, you should have woken me up. I'd have helped you.
So I was because I was making homemade shampoo. And I kept playing that track over and over again in the kitchen. So you
recorded yourself saying those things.
Yeah. And I felt really great. I slept really well, had difficulty getting up, but it feels like a really deep time of transformation. And so, it sounds weird that I was listening to my voice saying, I love you. Thanks for being here. You matter. Thank you.
It's very healing though, isn't it?
It's really healing.
I think the tears are about healing really with this. I don't know for sure, but I mean, it's again, coming back to Siri's message, this clearing out.
Yes.
And she talks about her draw it out course is a clear out course. And if you're doing what Joe's suggesting and you are self-accepting, self-loving, anything that isn't that will have to dissolve, won't it? Or get out the way, or have a laxative applied to it. And that might sometimes be tears, mightn't it? Or grief. It might feel awkward, or a loss, or a missing of something. But I think eventually you just get back to, that could be normal, couldn't it? It could be normal. Can you imagine that? It being normal to be loving and accepting of yourself.
Yeah. And
here's the thing.
Yes. Really, really, really beautiful. And I was also moved because I also worked with an awakened person, like somebody new to me that had a full-on awakening, and it was a really, really lovely, session between us. And I really felt, we've met quite a few people who have gone through a full awakening, where their reality has dropped from view and they've become a completely, they see the world from a completely new perspective. I've been in the company of several, and one of the things that I often feel from them is this sort of energy that emanates from them. And I had this really deep feeling of like liquid honey in the company of the person I was sharing time with. And so I had this very strong sort of warm honey, sweet experience of being sweetly accepted. And also this deep experience yesterday. So it's been, I feel like this is a watershed moment for me. And it's funny because we've gone through some real shifts, haven't we, this week?
Well, that might be the new normal. That's the other thing. I mean, I hear this a lot at the moment. I'm watching different YouTube, films and talks and things. And I heard someone say yesterday, in relation to the new reality TV, that 2025 is like the trailer movie for what happens after 2030. Now, the things you speak of might be the new normal, the self-acceptance, having love as normality rather than an occasional breakthrough. Can you imagine? I mean, we can all imagine a world like that, can't we? We know that that's possible. We've spoken of it. Spiritual and religious texts call for it, speak of it, coach us in it. And it seems like it's something that's away from us or out there. And some of these, as you say, awakened beings, or in our own moments of awakening, we can feel what that's like. And generally speaking, it commonly, collectively, it's the exception that proves the rule rather than the everyday reality. And perhaps this is the new reality we're moving towards, where these tastes that you're getting of deep love, acceptance, compassion will be normal. And some people will say, well, you can't have the high without the low. We have to have terrible suffering and pain so that we can feel these moments. I'm not sure about that. I've never been sure about that. And we might be, we'll have a different evolutionary proposition to face. But how about we consider and allow a normality of love? I mean, why wouldn't we try that?
Yeah, and I think that's a subject for a whole new show. Isn't it, if you don't mind, can we
with nearly 9 minutes to go?
Let's say hello to a few people. So we've said hello to a few, and
because we need to talk about our Saturn and Chiron returns, don't we?
Yeah. So Deb's is saying good morning.
Hi, Deb.
Momol is saying, I blur the lines between fantasy and travel for a living, or at least I'm a work in progress. I love that. I mean, Carl and I are very much working progresses, aren't we?
What do you mean?
How's it, Deb? Like, hello. And great, thanks, Mole. So I love how, people in different parts of the world are they are becoming their new community.
Yeah.
We're all community for each other. Deb's is saying, I got to see 3 planets on my new telescope last night. I got it for my birthday last week. So excited. Do you know what? If you've got photos, feel free to send them in. We'll happily share some.
Did you get a good look at Uranus? Yeah, I did actually say that.
Carl famously talks about transits in Uranus.
Being married,
he loves it.
To an astrologer, it's so difficult for me. Right.
Black Moon Jesus saying it's awesome to have birthdays, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? When it keeps coming round, it's like, yes.
It's a funny one because I had my 50th in December, and Carl is going to turn 60 in July. So this is quite a big time for us, like going.
What, to be in the same decade?
Yeah, we're in the same decade
for
again
for
a short while. Debs is saying during breathing exercises, a lot of times we put our hand on our heart and belly, and it helps to bring you inside.
So simple and so powerful, Deb.
Really is.
Yeah, thank you.
Giving our inner child a hug. I love you. We love you too. Yeah. I'm actually it's me that's welling up today.
Yeah, I haven't welled up for about 3 days.
Mother Mulberry says, Deb and Black Moon, you guys are going to inspire me to slip that into my writing. I love that.
Very good.
You're very welcome to
We're
use
looking forward to this work.
What a fantastic gift. The tears are dissolving.
Yeah,
they are.
Right. Yeah. They, when there's a conduit, the portal of love is cleansed, all the crystals, I suppose, must come out. All the old dirty water.
Yeah, the old stagnant thoughts you've had about yourself.
Yeah, let it out.
Black Moon Jesus, do you not understand that you have light exuding from you, Louisa? You're one of the brightest lights.
Do you need a moment? This is the moment. Look what you've done, Black Moon. Oh, now you've got me going. This is terrible now. All right, you
Thank you so much. Oh my God, there's loads of people piling in to see me cry.
Yeah. That's right. The day you're weeping on the screen is the biggest viewership. Hey, is there someone crying? Let's get over there. Is any of your music online, Black Moon Jesus? Deb, are you a social or professional singer? Jodie Lee is here. Hi,
Jodie Lee.
Oh, and everyone. Black Moon Jesus. I absolutely agree. She really is a star.
It's funny because Carl and I, like, obviously as an astrologer, you'd think I'd keep an eye on where all the planets are.
Yes.
And I do for everyone else, but I don't really do that for me and Carl so much.
Yeah.
And earlier this week, we were having a bit of an intense conversation, which read between the lines, we were slightly disagreeable to each other. And then we kind of fell back into our normal patterns. And then I was struggling with something personal from the past that came up, and Carl was really great, like listening to me. And
Oh yeah,
and it got really, really weepy, didn't it?
When did that happen? Was that
On
last weekend or
Tuesday.
That's why I'm exhausted.
That's why I'm so exhausted. So we went through a real sort of like big healing shift, and we couldn't quite work out why everything is like so sensitive at the moment. Yeah. And then we sat down, and Carl's Saturn return. So, you know, we have Saturn returns when we're 29 to 30. Carl's Saturn return, his second one, is literally, it was exact just yesterday when we had Dr. Joe on the show. And also on Wednesday, my Neptune was exactly square my sun for the last time. And I'm right slap bang in the middle of my Chiron return, which happens when we're 50, 51. Yeah. And Saturn is about how we, you know, like how we parent ourselves, but how we like step into our responsibility. And I think the second Saturn return has so much to do with stepping into leadership. You know, and you can't do that if you're being an a-hole or you're holding on to your past. She's or whatever.
Talking to me, everybody.
No, not necessarily. Like you have to let go of yourself. You have to kind of, like Joe says, let go of what you're holding on to, or be dragged. Yes, yeah. Let go so that you can be a natural leader. And so we've been going through a bit of that. And the Chiron return, you know, which happens usually once to someone, unless they go into like, you know, their hundreds. It is about cutting through the nonsense of the hurt of the past. It is about hugging your inner child. So like Carl and I right now are right in the middle of, you know, arguably two of the most sensitive returns right now at the same time. And the really weird thing yesterday is somebody contacted me, like a complete stranger who'd seen me on YouTube, and dropped me a message and said, look, I'm going through this hard time, and can you have a look at my chart? And I was like, and I was thinking, I'm about to go on holiday. But then I looked at their chart, and this person was born on the exact same day as Carl's chart, as Carl was born. In fact,
within an hour, is it?
Within an hour of each other, just at different parts of the planet. So, like, oh, you know, I just opened up and got into this lovely sort of conversation with this person, you know, via email. But what really came about is, you know, right now, people who are going through intense experiences are absolutely connecting with each other, and there's no surprises. I mean, what are the chances that on the very day of Carl's Saturn return, another person who's exactly in their Saturn return, born on exactly the same day, reaches out, like born within an hour? I mean, I was kind of blown away by that.
There was no new reality TV when I was having my first Saturn return, and I'm so grateful to be able to speak in an atmosphere or context where there's some understanding or reception for it. Aren't we lucky? And aren't people who are going through these transitions lucky to have a space in which they can be heard and understood to some extent? I mean, you still got to do the work yourself, haven't you, ultimately? But isn't it a blessing to have support and help and understanding?
It is, definitely.
We've got to cover these lovely comments, haven't we?
Well, you cover them.
7th of July. Yes, big up to the 7th
Oh yeah, Jodie Lee's also born on the 7th of July.
And Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr's one of us as well. That's fantastic. After having what I believe to be, we've got about a minute, less than a minute. God. I work with the burning. Please carry on, or if it's appropriate, bring these back to us on Monday, because we'll be here again on Monday. God willing, I woke with the burning desire to awaken. I dug in like I was starving, and absolutely, I'm feeling the intensity of that, Deb. And Mother Mulberry, Momol, promised to tag you all once I step beyond the veil and into the world. Yes, we'll take that. Definitely. Look, a comedian going through a second Saturn return, I'll have you know. And no Uranus. Brilliant. Thank you all for being here. We do have to go.
Oh, hang on, Louisa, would you like to contact you about remembering my NDE?
Oh, we've got to go.
Above?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yes, please.
We would. We have to go. But look, this is a message to you and to everyone. Don't get over it. Sit with your amazingness. How about that? Have a great weekend.
We love you.
Bye.